Hello, and welcome on behalf of the Norton Museum of Art to Member Insights. I'm Laurie Barnes, Elizabeth B. McGraw Curator of Chinese Art, and I am pleased to offer this special program exploring the painting Taoist Immortals of Abundance and Autumn Mountains. If you have questions at any point during the session, feel free to submit them using Zoom's Q&A feature. The final 10 minutes will be dedicated to answering your questions. Next slide, please. The image on the screen is a detail from Taoist Immortals and Autumn Mountains, a hanging scroll masterfully executed in black ink on paper by Zhao Changguo in the 1500s. His inscription states that he was copying a work by Dai Jin, who lived from about 1388 to 1462, and is considered the patriarch of the Zhou school of professional painting. Zhao's painting depicts three popular Chinese gods incorporated into the Taoist pantheon: the star lords of happiness, Fu Xing, high salary, Lu Xing, and long life, Shou Xing. Next slide, please. Set deep in the mountains during autumn among pines and deciduous trees, the two star lords are engaged in the ancient board game of way-chee, while a third observes. The objective of this deeply contemplative game is to surround and thereby capture opponents' game pieces. Zhao's lively brushwork captures the tension of the ancient strategy game of way-chee, known in Japanese as Go and in Korean as Paduk. The game is in progress, and the painting evokes the tension of the strategy game in progress and evokes the sound of rushing water and cascading waterfalls from precipitous cliffs. Scholars made actual or meditative pilgrimages to famous mountains in their quest to achieve immortality. Taoists believed that immortals dwelled in the mountains and that they could receive the gift of immortality through an encounter with the immortals. There were several reasons why Zhao Changguo painted Taoist immortals in Autumn Mountains. Scholars learned to paint by studying famous masters of the past because painting was one of the four accomplishments in which scholars were expected to excel. The three other activities were writing calligraphy, playing the game of way-chee, and performing on the qin, a type of Chinese zither. Although very little is known about Zhao Changguo, the way he painted suggests that he was a Confucian scholar. He lived in the port city of Ningbo, which was actively engaged in trade and exchanges of ideas and art with Korea and Japan. Next slide, please. The painting is signed Siming Tongye, surrounded and at one with wilderness, Zhao Changguo. Lin Qiantang Daiwen Jin, copying a painting by Dai Jin from Qiantang with the original in front of me, titled Chou Shan Xian Yi Tu, Taoist Immortals of Abundance and Autumn Mountains. It is followed by two seals of the artist, Zhao Shi Zhongfu, devoted father of the Zhao family, and Tong Ren Yu Ye, together with mankind in the wilderness. Next slide, please. This is a painting by Dai Jin in the Art Institute of Chicago. We can't be, it's probably not the painting that Zhao Changguo was looking at, but it is a painting by him of the same subject. As stated before, Dai Jin who lived circa 1388 to 1462, is considered the patriarch of the Zhe school of professional painting. Professional painters like Daijing made their living by painting and usually added colored pigment to their paintings, as seen in this painting by Daijing, while scholars generally created monochrome ink paintings, as seen in the Norton's version of Norton's painting by Zhao Changguo. They painted for pleasure and for self-cultivation. To this day, representations of and references to the Taoist immortals of happiness, high salary, and long life are commonly encountered in China, Japan, and Korea, especially during New Year's celebrations. Two activities related to the painting by Zhao Changguo will be available on the Norton website. One is currently available, is making a version of red seals used by artists and collectors to document paintings. An upcoming activity is the making of a lantern for the new year, for the year of the ox, with the Chinese characters for happiness, prosperity, and longevity prominent. Next slide, please. Pictured here is the earliest known painting of the three-star lords of happiness, high salary, and long life, playing way-chee. It dates to about 1350. In the middle ground, Taoist immortals appear. Oh, sorry. Let me catch my place here. In the middle ground, the Taoist immortals of longevity, happiness, and high salary appear. In the foreground, other Taoist immortals appear, which indicates that this is a scene taking place in the immortal realm. The inscription on this painting states that it was either owned or painted by a member of the Zhu family. This family later became the Ming Dynasty imperial family in 1368. In 1443, the earliest literary work about these Taoist immortals was published, a play by Zhu Youdun. He was the grandson of the founder of the Ming Dynasty. In this play, titled The Festival of the Immortal Officials, Fu, Lu, and Shou, these immortals descend to Earth to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Today, and perhaps in the 1500s when Zhao Changguo created this painting, images of the three-star lords are displayed during Chinese New Year celebrations because, according to Zhu Youdun, it is their duty to confer happiness, high salary, and long life. Next slide, please. The ancient board game of Liubo, meaning 6 sticks, was a divination game, and you can see a game board of it on the left. And the strategy game of way-chee, you can see an example of it on the right. And both of these games are mentioned in the Analects of Confucius, which was written about 2,500 years ago. And I quote, "It is difficult for a man who always has a full stomach to put his mind to some use. Are there not players of Liubo and way-chee? Even playing these games is better than being idle." A slightly later anthology of poems written about 2,300 years ago, entitled Chuzi, or Lyrics of the State of Chu, mentions the Taoist immortals Qi Song and Wang Chao engaging in 2 pursuits, playing way-chee and playing the qing, a Chinese zither. Above the images of the Liubo game board on the left and the way-chee game board on the right are images of approximately 1900-year-old pictorial bricks and stone relief carvings depicting immortals and humans playing Liubo and way-chee. The game of way-chee was later incorporated into 4 accomplishments that a Confucian scholar was expected to master. Next slide, please. In the documentary film about way-chee, AlphaGo, Frank Lantz, director of the NYU Game Center, states, way-chee is an intensely contemplative game, almost hypnotic. It is like putting your hand on the third rail of the universe. If you play way-chee seriously, there is a chance that you will get exposed to this experience that is kind of like nothing else on the planet. Weiqi is putting you in a place where you are always at the farthest reaches of your capacity. There is a reason that what people have been playing Weiqi for thousands of years. It is not just that they want to understand Weiqi. They want to understand what understanding is. And maybe that is what it means to be human. Next slide, please. As stated previously, Weiqi is considered one of the 4 arts of the Confucian scholar gentleman. From the 16th century onward in Japan, the 4 accomplishments, mastery of calligraphy, painting, playing the qing, which is known as the koto in Japan, and playing way-chee, which is known as go in Japan, were popular subjects among painters. Pictured at the bottom of the slide are a pair of screens by a Japanese artist. Details of showing the 4, these screens depict the 4 accomplishments. Details of each accomplishment are pictured on the upper tier. These skills had been a requirement of life in the Japanese imperial court since the Heian period, which lasted from 794 to 1185. They were assimilated by the ascendant warrior class beginning in the late 1100s. The Japanese artist Kaiho Yusho painted this pair of screens, which shows the influence of 13th century Chinese Zen monk monochrome painters mentioned in another forthcoming presentation about tiger and dragon paintings, including in the Divine Beings installation at the Norton Museum. Yusho's major patrons included the warlord Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who ruled from was shogun in Japan from 1537 to 1598, and the Emperor Go-Yozei, who reigned from 1586 to 1611. Next slide, please. This painting of 2 scholars playing Weiqi is one leaf of an album by Yi Kyung-yoon, a member of the Korean royal family. His father was the 11th son of Korean King Seongjong, who ruled from 1449 to 1494. The album depicts contemplative and cultured activities embraced by Korean Confucian scholars in the late 1500s, such as playing Weiqi and the zither. Like the Chinese painter of immortals playing Weiqi in autumn mountains, Zhao Changguo, Yi Kyung-yoon's style was influenced by the Chinese Zhe school master Dai Jin. Aspects of Dai style seen in this album leaf are dividing the composition diagonally and the strong contrast of black ink on the light silk ground. Next slide, please. Thank you for joining us for member insights. We hope you have enjoyed this presentation spotlighting the painting by the 16th century scholar Zhao Changguo, titled Taoist Immortals Playing way-chee in Autumn Mountains. This particular painting will be on view at the Norton until February 11th, while the remainder of the featured objects in divine beings that you can see on the screen in front of you will remain on view until February 28th, 2021. This and other programs at the Norton Museum of Art would not be possible without the support of the Friends of Chinese Art, who coincidentally helped purchase Taoist Immortals Playing way-chee in Autumn Mountains. If you like Chinese art, please consider becoming a member of the Friends of Chinese Art. If you would like to explore additional resources related to the museum's Chinese collection, please visit norton.org. You are also invited to mark your calendars for our Chinese New Year celebration taking place for 2 weeks online from February 11th to 26th. We will offer a diverse range of virtual programs exploring various aspects of Chinese culture and the Norton's Chinese collection. We hope you will join us. We extend our heartfelt thanks for your membership and support for the arts in our community. If you have questions or comments about today's program, please feel free to email them to the membership office at membership@norton.org. We look forward to seeing you at the next Member Insights on Thursday, February 18th at 2 p.m. Thank you and have a great afternoon. I will now open up the floor for questions. I have a question in front of me. What is believed to be the origin of the way-chee game? According to a Chinese legend, the Emperor Yao, believed to have lived from 2356 to 2255, created the game of way-chee to teach his son Danfu discipline, concentration, and composure. Then I have a second question. You mentioned the documentary, You mentioned the documentary film about way-chee. Is it available online? Yes, it's available on Netflix, as you can see, which is probably available by subscription, but you can also view it on YouTube. Are there additional resources on the Norton website highlighting, oh, I didn't see that question, but it didn't display. Can that be displayed again, please? Are there additional resources on the Norton website? I'm guessing it's asking highlighting other programs and resources about the Chinese collection. Yes, there are many, and we are, so please come back to norton.org often and look for, there are quite a few right now on divine beings, the installation that's currently on view at the Norton, China at the Center of Cross Currents in Asian Art. There's a number of programs related to it. There's a number of art activities. So please check out explore our website. What will replace the painting Taoist Immortals Playing way-chee in the Mountains when it comes down on February 11th? We are removing it because it's been up too long. It's been up for over a year. It will be replaced by one panel of our Lantern Festival paintings, and that will be it is another painting which celebrates the Chinese New Year. Actually, it celebrates the festival day, the Lantern Festival, which ends the Chinese New Year celebration, the 2-week Chinese New Year celebration. And this year, that celebration will be on February 26th, 2021. And then this entire installation will end on February 28th, 2021. So we hope you'll come in and avail yourselves of the online programs and come in and see these paintings before they leave us. I need to see that. I saw when Divine Beings ends on February 28th, what will replace it and what is the exhibition about. The after Divine Beings ends, the next installation is entitled Cause to Take a Stand, Bird Symbolism in Chinese Paintings, and it will feature Ming and Qing paintings with bird imagery. And generally, the bird imagery in China is, they're called, in the Qing dynasty, they were called hero paintings, and they were given as gifts to warriors, valorous warriors. And in the late Ming period, they were the featured painting in this installation is 100 birds following the phoenix and calling the morning sun. And this subject is a call to, in the late Ming period, was a call to Chinese officials to be courageous in times when of unrest and injustice, and call for rectification of wrongs. So that painting will be explored. And we will also be including another Chinese painting, Ming Chinese painting. And Ming paintings are quite rare. So I'm looking forward to sharing more information about those paintings with you. I see that this concludes the questions that have been submitted. So I would like to thank you again for joining us, and hope that you will join us again on February 18th at 2 p.m. for another Member Insights. Thank you and good afternoon.